Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not making this up. Newsweek. The Newsweek article will be below. Chinese state media warns of severe military measures if Taiwan office in U.S. if Taiwan office in U.S. changes name. So, in China on Sunday, a state-run media outlet warned of severe military and economic consequences against Taiwan if Washington allows the self-ruled island to change the name of its representative office in the U.S. The Global Times, which is basically a propaganda, a state-run propaganda newspaper, similar to the Washington Post and New York Times, and pretty much everything else we have that's devoted their existence to propping up the Democratic Party. But here, the Global Times referred to a Financial Times report from Friday saying that President Joe Biden's administration is considering allowing the office to change its name from the, quote, Taipei Economic and Cultural Representative Office to the Taiwan Representative Office. The Chinese paper warned such change would seriously anger Beijing and provoke a severe military and economic response. This comes after just the other... So the articles are here. There's a human reviewer. It's right here, the Newsweek article. China flies nuclear-capable aircraft into Taiwan's air defense zone amid escalating tensions. This is just a couple of days back. So there have been a total of well over 40 aircraft over Taiwan's airspace from China in the past couple of months. They have escalated tensions to a point that we haven't seen. There's a huge chance that they invade or blockade Taiwan. There's also the unfortunate reality that we're gonna face a stock market crash, whether it's this month, next year in 2022. I don't know. I can't time the market. But we're going to face a stock market crash. Inflation is at a 13-year high. Look at every economic indicator. So we have worsening tensions with China. There was a call between Xi and Biden where Lord knows if President Xi could understand our president, but that was almost certainly a call to try to perhaps deceive this administration into thinking, well, everything might be okay, when perhaps they have military plans to blockade or invade Taiwan. We're at our weakest point in terms of foreign policy, and we're heading towards a financial cliff with the stock market. This could be similar to '08, and here's why. Inflation is at a 13-year high. We have more margin debt than ever before, okay? Margin as a percentage of GDP is similar to the percentage of GDP that margin was right before '08 in 2087. So something like 3.6% of GDP over that. So that's more margin debt than ever before. You have the consumer price index, the producer price index at their highest points in over a decade. You have supply chain issues. You have a labor shortage issue, even though there are jobs out there. And, GDP was revised downwards. So the only thing worse could be a nuclear confrontation with China, which of course, Biden's administration, if we learn anything from the evacuation in Afghanistan, is that they will completely be blindsided and focus only on public relations to the detriment of our national security. Those 13 Americans should be alive today. Those 13 Americans and close to 200 Afghans should be alive today. And they're not, because Biden completely messed up the evacuation. He should have started evacuating in January, February, and March, and April. The Doha Agreement was to get out by May 1st. But hit subscribe to this channel right now. These are things that nobody's talking about. The links are below, so I'm not making them up. Hit subscribe right this second to this channel. Tell your friends about this channel. I talked about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin tanking as well. So these aren't things that I hope will happen. But we're in for a bumpy ride the next couple of years. Hit subscribe. If you want to give a super thanks to this segment, My super thanks button is below, right next to the like and the share buttons. If you want to support my work long term, my Patreon is below in the pinned comment. But tell your friends about this channel, because there are things like the possible invasion and blockade of Taiwan, the stock market crash, people aren't talking about. And you have legendary investors like Warren Buffett, Jeremy Grantham, Michael Burry. They're all saying we're heading towards a financial cliff. Okay? Then you have military leaders within the United States, or former generals, saying that the invasion or blockade of Taiwan is going to happen within the next couple of years. Almost certainly. You're looking at a confluence of events. You're looking at a whole bunch of things that Biden will be blindsided by. The media in this country has obsessed and focused on one issue. Okay? One issue. That's it. And it's the global health crisis, and we can't even talk about the origins, but President Trump was almost certainly right about that. They've focused on issues like climate change or the global health crisis, and what they've done is they obsess in this apoplectic, hysterical, paranoid manner where they can't see beyond. They have blinders. They can't see beyond climate change, social theories that they don't even believe themselves, and the pandemic. They cannot see beyond these things. And so whether it's China possibly invading Taiwan, we don't have an actual plan for that. We have no clue how Biden would react, which would lead to a nuclear confrontation, because we can't engage in a traditional military conflict with China. They have nukes. So it would be mutually assured destruction. So there would be some type of standoff where our Navy would obviously not engage in a traditional naval battle or confrontation, but it could be like a Cuban Missile Crisis type of scenario. Okay, we had JFK back then. Now we have mashed potato brains and his merry band of highly educated, bumbling, stumbling Blinken, highly educated, highly polished, extremely polished imbeciles and buffoons. Have you heard Blinken speak? He looks like he's seen a ghost. He looks like he's married to Freddy Krueger or Hellraiser. Every time he's on camera, it looks like he's frightened and petrified. Same with Biden. All of them, they all have this, we're polished, we're educated, we know what's going on. Nobody believes that. So, you tell me in the comments section, is there any plan? Is there any strategy? Is there any vision for the future? Where does he want our economy to be in a year? Because he's not focusing on economic growth, addressing inflation, the biggest jobs miss in history. All the links will be below. The regulators, by the way, in the stock market don't know, and I've been talking about this endlessly, they don't know how much debt, they have no clue how much debt they have no clue how much debt the hedge funds have, or how much of a risk in terms of debt banks have, because there are derivatives that can hide your debt from the government. If you're a hedge fund, you don't have to notify the SEC the exact number of debt or how much margin that you're on. And we have more margin debt in the stock market, people buying, hedge funds buying stocks on margin or derivatives on margin than ever before. Loans from banks. So Credit Suisse and others gave this hedge fund Archegos loans to buy risky derivatives, contract for default derivatives, where they don't own the underlying stock, but they bet on the swings up and down of Viacom, for example. Viacom tanked 1 week several months back. That caused all of the hedge fund to go under, Archegos. that then caused $10 billion in terms of losses for 3 or 4 banks. That could happen on a massive scale. Then we have the issue of, right here, the Newsweek articles, China invading Taiwan or blockading Taiwan, possibly. So we have 2 major crises, and you better believe Democrats and media will pivot towards, oh my God, this is happening, oh my God, fear, paranoia, you have to listen to us. They've been blindsided. I've been talking about this for months now. All of these issues. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. The Newsweek articles are below. I will have, of course, a live stream today at 6:30.